Okay, so today I'm fitting the new EMGO 15-inch tapered pipe to the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. I think the stock exhaust sounds okay, but ideally I want to go with something that looks a little less bulky. I've already done an air filter replacement and you can check that video out up here. But for now, let's get this new exhaust fitted and see if it makes a difference. First up, 10mm socket. I think we need to remove this cover plate here. Crack them off. Take this one off. Yep, that's coming out. That's pretty straightforward. So that gets rid of that plate and that reveals the catalytic converter. It wasn't something I was aware of. I actually thought this was, I'm not sure how, I wasn't actually sure how these worked. So obviously we come down here, out of the headers, into the cat, back out of the cat into the end can. Now we need to remove this one here. There's a 12mm nut on the back, so we'll get a 12mm nut. We've got a 12mm socket, and let's get that one off. That's loosened that up. Now I just need to remove, I believe, this tab here to take the exhaust out. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so looks like a bigger one there. No, it's still a 12. I'm assuming it's still a 12 on the back. Let's just check that. I have to come in from underneath. No, I have to use an open end on that one. I'm going to get a shifter in there. Somehow. Maybe from the top. That'll work. Oh man. Okay. Don't lose that nut in the back. So it's going to hold that as we take this out. Okay, no washer there. So there's a little grommet there as well, along with that nut, that bolt. Now this guy should just come off. Just got to work it out. There we go. We've got the old pipe off. We've got the new pipe here ready to go. Now it looks like this piece here is going to have to sit up behind there and bolt on. So I'm going to have to mark up and drill a hole through this piece here to actually attach that bracket. And then what I might do eventually is remove it and actually get this machine down to the right size, get it cut down properly. Anyway, let's try and get this fitted up. Little spray of WD-40 on there. Hopefully that'll help it move on. It's got to go on that way. Get my glasses on so I can see what I'm actually doing. Bit of a rag on the end and give it a few taps. It's looking good. I think I said it was a 12mm. Okay, so I'm going to try and mark that up with the pencil. Hopefully I can see that mark. And then take this off. Should just be able to slide it out. Yep, cool. And I can just see that mark there. Okay, so you can see we've got the hole through here. So drilled a hole through. So let's get that back one back on. Put that on. And slide that guy in the back there. So that nut just sits behind. Yep, cool. I'm just going to nip that up by hand, and then I have to try and wedge a screwdriver or something in there to try and tighten it once I get the top one in. Okay, now let's see if my hole lines up. So this guy goes through there. Grommet goes in, yeah, cool. Bring him up. Should line up perfectly. Wow, was not expecting that. Now I get that one on there. Okay, let's get this back one tightened up. That's easy up. Cool. Just gave that a polish up. Got fingerprints all over it now. We'll give it another polish once we get it on there. But yeah, that came out well. So let's just get this guy back on. Now, I'm not really expecting any performance difference out of this. It's purely an aesthetic thing. I just wasn't a massive fan of the big exhaust that was on the Meteor. It was okay. I thought it sounded all right. So we're just going to see how this one goes, see how it sounds. I think it's going to be a bit louder. For the purpose I have this bike, 20 horsepower is absolutely fine. I've got other bikes in the garage that are a lot more powerful, you know, and I've got a bike that's less powerful, which some people might find surprising. How can you have something less than a Royal Enfield Meteor? But you can. A 1949 Panther puts out about 15 horsepower, might even be 11. I don't ride that one very often. Okay, so I must say, the weight of this compared to the one I've just put on, the EMGO, is incredible. This is a hell of a lot heavier than that pipe. So saving a little bit of weight, every little bit of weight you can drop off the bike is going to make a difference.
So the new exhaust sounds a touch louder, and there was a few nice little crackles and pops when I took it out for a test ride. There's not a massive difference in terms of performance, but I did do a test on this stretch of road, which has a bit of an incline. When I did the video on the air filter replacement, I said that I thought the engine didn't sound like it was working as hard to maintain speed up this hill. Before I put the air filter and exhaust on, I would always have to drop back to 4th gear to maintain 80. But I'm happy to say that with a combination of the high flow air filter and this new lighter exhaust, I can now happily sit at 80 in 5th gear with just a little bit of throttle left in reserve. Next up in the series, I'll be swapping out the shaky Royal Enfield mirrors for some of these bar ends from TEC Bike Parts. And we have some very exciting news soon for those of you in Australia who are interested in accessories from TEC Bike Parts. But for now, check out this playlist over here with some other custom Royal Enfields.